Okay, we are recording.
Yay! Well, hey everyone, welcome to Red Hot Call. My name is Maya Hall, and I am one of your All In Area Director Sisters, and just so excited to be here with you tonight. So welcome to Red Hot. This is such a prestigious honor that you have earned this. And so kudos to you. Give yourself a pat on the back. Be proud of yourself for investing in time tonight. You know, success sometimes is inconvenient. However, that inconvenience will grow you and build you and sustain you. And so success really isn't inconvenient. It truly is a discipline. And you are here tonight out of discipline. We all could be doing 1,000 other things, but you are here. And so I know that God is going to bless what is shared tonight. You guys are in for a treat. And oh my gosh, I'm just so thrilled for what we're going to do. So we are going to start off with some recognition because we want to honor you and your red teams and how you are growing, how you are building your businesses. And we also want to make sure that you are educated on how you get paid as a red jacket. Y'all, we live in an apple orchard or a peach orchard or an orange. You just pick your favorite orchard, okay? You live in your favorite orchard and you have the ability to grow and produce fruit with your teams. And so let's get started with some recognition for our Red Hot. So, of course, as you can see, our beautiful red jackets for our area. And so we start at the star team builder position, which is 3 or 4 active team members. So I'm going to encourage you to click the confetti emoji or the heart emoji or hop in the chat and just give kudos to your fellow red jackets. In the star team builder position, we have Lisa, Angie, Jennifer, Angie, Vicky, Laura. So congratulations to all of our star team builders with 3 to 4 active team members. And then bumping up to the team leader position is 5 active team members. And this is Kayla Kirkman Gertz from the Smith unit, which is so exciting. So hi, Kayla. Woo! Then we have the elite team leader. You guys, at the elite team leader position, you can actually achieve this in one of 2 ways. First is by having 8 personal active team members. Okay, this means that you have personally added 8 women to your team and they have placed their active order. Or you can take advantage and really get the best benefits as a consultant. When you have 5 active team members and one of your team members is 3, not only can you get a 9 or 13% check on these 5, but you can also get what we call a second tier commission with a 5% on that second team. You guys, that is the absolute best consultant paycheck that you can possibly receive as a red jacket. Next is DIQ. DIQ is not a position, it is a launching pad. And so DIQ stands for Director in Qualification. It is a 4, 3, 2, or 1 month period where you go from being in your red jacket to a director. So let's give another shout out to all of our beautiful red jackets. So woo! Here, now you can see my pom-pom, not in the blur. Well, we want to honor our team production for Red Jackets because, yes, as Red Jackets, you want to cultivate camaraderie, excitement, team production. If I were a Red Jacket, I would want to honor and recognize my team members. So I know that each of your sales directors will totally be okay with you doing shout outs of your own team on your unit page. I would encourage you, if you haven't, to build your own team red page and begin practicing giving recognition, shout out, appreciation, shout out to this idea. So this way you can build that team camaraderie and that team production. So let's see our top teams for the month of August. Number 5, Angie Daughtry. Number 4, Vicky Highsmith. Number 3, Laura Newson. Number 2, Jennifer Draper. And number 1, Lisa Clark. Congratulations, our Red Jacket team. So snap your picture so you can post to your team. We're going to pause the screen for just a second. Snap a picture, Red Jackets. Directors, snap a picture. Text your team and give them a huge shout out for the excellence that they are landing you here as our top 5 teams. So congratulations.
Love it.
That's so exciting. Okay, hold on. I'm snapping one too. Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay. Now we want to talk about commissions earned. Once again, it's important that you all understand how you make money as a red jacket. So let's recognize those red jackets earning those extra commissions. Number 5 is Laura. Number 4, Angie. Number 3, Vicky. Number 2, Jennifer. Number 1, Lisa. Woo!
Woo!
This is amazing, you guys. You know what? You should be so proud of the extra income that you are building on work that you have done, right? Where else in another job can you get a $30 to $100 bonus by blessing other people? So congratulations to you for building your team. So way to go.
Ooh.
Now let's learn about these percentages so you understand how to maximize, once again, this position as a red jacket, okay? So let's keep going. Okay, so as you can see, there are multiple ways to earn commissions as a red jacket. When you have 3 or 4 active team members, you can earn commissions based on the team production that you do. And we'll see that slide in just a second. So congratulations, 6% to Laura and Angie. Congratulations to 8% Lisa and Jennifer. Way to go, ladies. Now we're moving up to that team leader at 9%. So congratulations, Vicky Highsmith at a 9% check. Yay! All right, as you can see, here's the explanation of how commissions are adjusted as a red jacket. So when you have 3 to 4 active team members as a star team builder, you can see that your production is actually based on your team production. Remember how I said it's important to build team camaraderie. So kudos to those of you who are tracking that 1800 level because you all were maxing that out. So congratulations to that. So when you do less than 1,000, it's 4%. When you do 1,000 to 1,799, it's 6%. And when you do over 1,800, you get an 8% commission. Now, I want to tell you this. As a red jacket, you do not get paid on your own order, but your order does push you over that team production, okay? So that's important to remember. As a team leader and an elite team leader, this is 5 or more active team members, you can receive a 9% team building bonus when you have 5 or more active team members. Or in a single calendar month, so in the month of September, when you have 5 personal active team members, place a 225 in that calendar month. So not that they place a month order, or excuse me, an active order last month and they're active. They actually have to place the 225 the same month that you place the 600 and you get a 13% check. I'm going to teach you all something. If you really want to learn how to maximize the Consultant Red Path, get in the habit of hitting that 13% check every single month, because as a sales director, guess what? We get 13% checks on our teams too. So this is something for you to get in a really good practice of tracking and noticing your 13% check. All right, so congratulations. All right, and we do want to make sure that you are aware, due to our Forever Fall Retreat, we are all headed to French Lick, Indiana. We are going to be having a red hot breakfast in lieu of our red hot call, and we'll get more details of that and all the times and everything like that. But due to the holiday hangouts that we're doing with National Sales Director Kristen Sharp, due to traveling for Fall Retreat, we are not going to have a virtual red hot call. We are going to be participating in the October 20th guest event, and like I said, because of Fall Retreat. So just want to make sure you realize we're not going to have this specific event like we have been, but we will resume that in November, and we'll look at that day as soon as possible and get that announced for you guys. So, all right. Well, my friends, like I said, am thrilled about your guest speaker tonight. You know, I hope y'all know that when we consider who speaks, it is not just a light decision. We pray over who we believe is meant to be in front of you, to speak with you, to talk with you, to share with you. And it is never an accident that the Lord always has the best person. And sometimes we plan and his plans are better than ours. And so it is totally exciting that tonight you are going to be hearing from truly one of the most humble, talented, gifted, sweetest, kindest, just genuine, sister sales director, Jessica Merriman. So I want to tell you guys a little bit about her because, like I said, her story is just going to encourage you. And I truly believe breathe life into your business, especially as we head into the holiday season, as we head to Nashville. Okay, as y'all know that DIQs are invited to come. And so let me share with you, like I said, a little bit about her. Sorry, my worship music is still playing. Okay, Alexa, pause. I didn't realize that until just now. So okay, so Jessica started her Mary Kay business in 2003, and she has been a consultant for 18 years. She has 66 star consultants, you guys. She has earned 8 Mary Kay cars. Her highest commission check from the company is $7,300. She has been in the top 10 National Court of Sales 5 times. And she has been the queen of consultant sales 3 times. Pre-pandemic, during the pandemic, and right, like in the middle of the pandemic. So, oh my gosh, you guys, she is going to be bringing you so much knowledge, so much wisdom, so much encouragement, and you guys are going to be so blessed. This year, she was the second runner-up to the Director Queen's Court of Sales. Okay, you guys. Oh my gosh. Each year, are you ready for this? Each year, selling over 100,000 retail in our amazing product. Who can get excited about selling 100,000 retail? Her highest was over 130 in Mary Kay products. This seminar year, she earned her very first B in the National Court of Sharing. Okay, and she was number 16 in the National Court of Sharing, earning 2 top 20 distinctions at seminar and a double star at the very same time. Wow, that deserves a big round of applause. But you all, like I said, her story will just inspire and encourage you and breathe hope. She is the most proud of the life that she has built for herself and her 8-year-old son, Braylon. Because of Mary Kay, she has now the financial freedom and the flexibility of time, creating lasting memories and to be available of moments that he wants to be a part of, from volunteering at his school, being the PTO president, and running him all across the county for sporting events. She's earned countless prizes, including diamonds, trips, material possessions, but the greatest gift that the company has given her is the woman that she has become along the way. She says, I thank God that he has placed this opportunity in my path, and I pray that everyone I have the opportunity to speak to can feel his love shining through me. So Jessica, like I said to you earlier, I know that God has given you a word that is meant to be shared and a story that is meant to be told. And so tonight we are just so thankful already for your heart, your go-give spirit to share with us. And so, my dear, the microphone is yours.
Thank you so much, my friend. Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm just sitting in the living room with my girlfriends right now, like this is so much fun seeing all you guys. I love the power of technology. That's one thing that the pandemic did for us, is like this capability has always been here, but we weren't utilizing it to its fullest. So here we are. It's super exciting, from all over the country, all across the country, gathered tonight. Thank you, Maya. I just want to say thank you and blessings to you for gathering us all together. You, my friend, are an amazing leader, and I love watching your area grow and you blossom. I remember that very first speech that you made at Red Jacket Retreat at General Butler State Park, when you were just a new baby consultant. I don't even think you were a director yet, maybe like brand new. And I have watched you grow from that, and it has just been beautiful. So you are a blessing to the Mary Kay world. So thank you for the privilege and honor to speak to your area tonight. So I'm super excited to share with you guys. I know a lot of you have heard bits and pieces of my story, and so I'm going to share with you my story, and then we've got 3 parts to tonight, okay? I'm going to share with you my story first of all. Then we're going to talk about some actual meat and potatoes, like processes of this is how I have built a customer base. And if you do these things, I think that each and every one of you can be as successful as you want to be in the area of sales in Mary Kay. And then we're also going to talk about the 6 inches between your ears, because I feel like that is the foundation for everything. Because Mary Kay Ash said you can do everything right with the wrong attitude and fail, or you can do everything wrong with the right attitude and succeed. So I feel like that's what I've done a lot of the times. It's just I kind of just like try some things, you throw things up against the wall, see what sticks, and I have a really great attitude about it. And so thankfully a lot of things have stuck. Okay. So if anybody can relate to that, you're in the right place tonight. So I started my Mary Kay journey next month in October will be 19 years. Oh my word. I started when I was a 20-year-old college student who didn't really know what she wanted to do for the rest of her life except be a wife and a mommy. And I was in college at the University of Evansville. I finished my degree. I have a degree in business management and psychology. What a great combination for Mary Kay, right? I've never, ever used my degree formally, and that's okay, because when I was in college is where I met my recruiter. And what I saw in her was a young mom. She had one child. She was pregnant with her second. She had just earned her very first Mary Kay career car. It was a red Grand Am. I remember that. And my sorority sister was having a pedicure party. And this cute little blonde chick pulled up in her free car, and she was making her own schedule and told me that I could do the same thing. And I said, okay, sign me up. Teach me how, right? Never thinking that this would be my lifelong career, and never thinking that we would be in the position, divorced, single mom, child with a chronic illness. Like those are all titles that I never thought I would own, right? And so we never know what the future holds. So we make hay while the sun is shining. That way we can work through the possible distracting times, right? So I piddled with my Mary Kay business for, I'd say, about 2 years probably. And I moved back to my hometown and I started working a job with Child Protective Services that was just not a good fit for me. God bless those people. Somebody needs to do that job, but it was not me. And so I learned very, very quickly that I needed a way out of there. And guess what? Mary Kay was my way out, because I had been piddling for years. And so I had gained some customers and some knowledge here and there. And I've never missed a Mary Kay event. I love Mary Kay events. And that is where I had the vision to stay with Mary Kay, even when I wasn't actively working my business during those first couple of years. So I decided I needed a way out of that job that I didn't like. And so I started doing more parties, right? The party will take you anywhere that you want to go. Okay. Seeing faces, whether right now that is virtual or in person or combination of both, you have to see the faces. Faces take you places. And so I began having lots and lots of parties and having lots and lots of fun and recruiting a whole bunch of people. And in 3 months, we had earned our first free car. And a month after that is when I became a sales director. And so when I became a sales director, that time, we'll get there. I decided that I had replaced my income and I was going to be able to leave that job. And so for the next 10 years, I was loving my business. I was working my business and it was providing a good income for me. And I decided I never wanted to work for anybody else ever again. I remember Linda Tupin talking about what motivates you. And I had a one-on-one conversation with her one time. And she said, you're clearly not motivated by money. You think you're motivated by money, but you're not, because you would be doing even more than you're already doing. This was years ago. And she said, I'm motivated by, she said, me personally, Linda Tubin is motivated by the things that she does not want to have happen to her, right? She didn't want to live in a single wide trailer. She didn't want to live off of the government. And so she made different choices, right? And so I realized that I'm very motivated by what I don't want to have happen in my life. And so maybe some of you listening to this call are motivated by the things that you don't want. And so I am willing to go to work every day that I'm choosing to work. Okay, I don't work every day, but when I'm choosing to work, I go to work and I show up with excellence because I don't want somebody else telling me when to work and when to take vacation and when to take my child to a doctor's appointment, right? So I really enjoyed that period of time in my life that I was working my Mary Kay business. And during that time, I got married and I had a baby. And remember, all I wanted to do in life was be a wife and a mommy, right? So I thought, okay, we've made it. And I have this awesome career to boot, right? And so when my son was 20 months old, he's 8 years old now. And he's fine and very, very healthy and wonderful. So there's the happy ending to that story. But he was 20 months old and he was diagnosed with a chronic kidney condition. And so basically for the last 6 years, we have been dealing with this issue of sometimes his kidneys work and sometimes they don't work. And I never really knew how important kidneys were until they stopped working in him. And then I realized they're so important. And you can literally not live if we can't get your kidneys working again, right? So we go in and out of relapse and remission and roller coaster, and we've been riding that journey for the last 6 years. I didn't know what that would look like. I feel like my life is in two categories: before nephrotic syndrome and after nephrotic syndrome. And from the day he got his diagnosis, life has never, ever, ever been the same. And that's okay, because I'm okay with not ever going back to normal. I want to move forward, and I want to move into all the things that God has for me. And so thankfully, I by the grace of God, have been able to lean on him and trust him and learn lessons that I wouldn't have been able to learn otherwise if I had not had to walk this journey. And there's been a lot of lessons that we've learned along the way. So about 5 months after my son was diagnosed with his condition, my already struggling marriage completely fell apart. And my husband at the time basically checked out. That was kind of our son's illness was kind of the last straw for him. And so within a period of about 5 months, my son was diagnosed with an illness. I was trying to figure that out. And now I'm a single mom doing it all by myself. During that time, the only thing that I didn't have to worry about was, how am I going to pay the bills? And am I going to be able to work? So please, please, I beg of you, keep working your Mary Kay business. It is the biggest blessing in our lives. And sometimes we don't even realize it because we all go through slumps, right? We all go through lulls. I don't love everything that I do in our business all of the time, but there's nowhere else. There's no safer place that you can be while working through tragedy or crisis than in our Mary Kay world, right? You get to design your time. You get to work either from home or in person. You can adjust that to where you need it to be. You can have more income if you need to. You can step back if you need to. It's the most beautiful place to be, and it was the safest place for me to be. And such a burden was lifted because I wasn't relying on my husband to provide income for me. I was already paying all of our bills anyway. So when I went through that crisis, I was able to have peace, as much peace as you can through those times, right? And my Mary Kay business was a huge part of that. So, and I want you to know this too. So at that time, I was a sales director, and I was a consultant. I was had built my business doing the National Court of Sales. Okay, so for me, that was just, I started doing that very early on in my Mary Kay career, and building a customer base just came natural for me when you're doing the work. Like I said, faces take you places. And so I've always done parties, and I've always connected with people. And then I've always taken care of those people that I connected with. Some of my customers now have been with me my whole 19 years, because it's much easier to keep a customer once you have one than to build a new one, right? So keep them. So I was able, during that time that I was going through so many things at once, I was able to just kind of take a moment, stand back, and work on healing my son with his health, healing my heart, forgiving, figuring out life again, putting all the pieces back into place. But I didn't stay there for long. Right? It's okay to have a moment, but then we have to keep moving, because working, Linda Tubin talks about milking the cows, right? Working keeps us going, and inaction creates fear, right? And a lot of times we think that the emotion has to come before the motivation. We're waiting to feel like working. We're waiting to feel like doing something. And in reality, that's probably never going to happen. Very rarely is that ever going to happen. So we have to learn, as women and as leaders, you all are leaders already that are on this call. So we have to learn how to work from commitment and dedication, not emotion. And that was the biggest thing that I learned during this season of my life, is how to compartmentalize. Men are so much better at this sometimes than women are. They're able to put things in the box and then go do the other activity. If we as women can learn to think a little bit more like that, it'll really, really benefit us in the long run. Okay. So, and it's also, it's just like exercise. Like sometimes we don't feel like going to the gym, or, but you do the next thing. You put on your shoes and you show up, and then before you know it, half an hour's gone, and you feel so much better, right? So during this period of time, the Lord started speaking to me and telling me that I was to stop being a director. And that's not a real popular decision in Mary Kay, especially for this leaders call, right? Okay. So I'm not suggesting that any of you do that, but I am saying that I fought with the Lord for a couple months on that. If anybody has ever fought with the Lord over a decision, you know that doesn't really end very well. And so the moment that I relinquished, I released, I surrendered to what I knew He was calling me to do, everything changed. And so I'm also on a mission now to change our Mary Kay culture and to change our verbiage and our language, because when we move from one position to another, we don't step down. We don't step down from anything. I didn't step down. I made a different choice, right? Never thinking that I would make the choice to move back into that position. But God, right? So wherever you're at and wherever your journey takes you, just enjoy the journey and never, ever be ashamed of your journey. It's your story. You get to share it with people in the future and bless them. Okay. So after I made that decision to become a consultant, really, really start focusing on customers and building my customer base rather than focusing on building my team. It's not that I wasn't doing it, I'm just wasn't focusing on it. Okay. Then that is when the Lord spoke to me again and said, I want you to be the queen of consultant sales next year in 2019. That's your calling. That's your goal. So I got to work, right? And we'll talk about some of those things that I changed and some things that I did. But by the grace of God, he allowed me to do the work and to earn the position. And so we were honored on stage at our last seminar together for 3 years. Who knew that we were not going to be together again for 3 years? And I praise God because he was able to, I was able to have that experience on stage in Dallas. And you guys, it's like no other. I mean, they literally treat you like royalty. You have a special room in the back, a pink lounge, and you get to touch up your makeup, and you have an escort that takes you on stage. And then Nathan Moore parades you around. It's the closest to Miss America that you can get. I mean, literally. And then you sit on that throne, and it's so cushy and wonderful, and you get to speak. And that moment right there, that is the moment that I worked for all year long, because God just, I knew that was the reason that I was called to be the queen, is for that 5-minute moment that I got to speak and share and bless his name and hopefully encourage others, and to share that you can overcome adversity. You can do this. So the following 2 years, we were the queen as almost as a residual effect of doing it that first year. So if you guys have not done the Queen's Court of Sales your first time yet, make this your year. Make it your non-negotiable goal, because I promise you, if you will focus on it for that 1 year, it will pay you over and over and over. And after you do it that first year, those next years are just going to come so easy. I see the directors nodding their heads. You know this. It's so true. And so it was almost like that with the queen. Like, I did it the first time, and then it just, okay, well, we're doing this again, right? And then we're doing this again. And so, you know, my son was able to crown me in our living room the first year in 2020 that we had seminar in the virtually. And then the second year we did it in my kitchen, and he crowned me live. And so, you know, and there's blessings in that too. Like, who else can say that they were the queen during the virtual seminars, you know? And so we always have a choice, right? Because it was a bummer. Part of it was a bummer. So we can look at things and we can see the negatives, or we can look at things and we can see the positives. So last year at virtual seminar, when Braylon crowned me, I knew that was the last time that we would do that. I just knew it in my heart. I wasn't sure that I was, you know, ready to be, I just wasn't sure that I was being called into directorship, but I knew that was the last time that particular moment was going to happen. And so last fall, a year ago, the Lord started speaking to my heart, and people started coming out of the woodwork, finding me, asking to join my team, which is amazing, right? So when we focus on the blessings come. So focus on those blessings if you're wanting to move into a higher leadership position. And so I decided that it was time to move back into directorship, move back into leadership. One reason that I did that, do you guys know, as a sales director, you get paid on your own order? Does everybody know that? I think we need to share that more with the Mary Kay world, because I knew, and I had been making the choice for several years to leave a lot of money on the table. Okay. Because again, I'm not motivated by money, right? I'm motivated by what I didn't want. And I didn't want to be in a position that I knew I wasn't called to be in. And so I was staying put. And so Mary Kay offers us the opportunity to earn career cars and to get paid commission on our own orders and to bless people and to teach them how to run successful Mary Kay businesses. And so I knew that I was finally in a place, Braylon's in a good place with his health. We're in a good place in our lives, that it was time for me to do that again. And so I went into my customer base. Yes, I went into my customer base and found my unit. Literally, like there's not many people, outside of those 30 that we needed that were not already my customers and had been for several years. So we earned our Chevy Malibu in August and September of last year. And then September and October, we did directorship. And so we debuted on November 1st. So yes, yay. So that moved me into the director court of sales. And so it's so interesting the way that things work. So I had my best year ever in sales. Thank you to my wonderful customers. Every year has gotten more and more and more. And so I was going to be excited. When you move into the director court, it's higher numbers, right? So I was just excited to be like top 10, and then so when I moved into the director court and my numbers showed up on the screen, you can check those monthly, and I was number 3. I'm like, oh gosh, because the other 2 had already, they max out every single month, and so number 3 is the highest that I could be, and I was there already. So I thought, well, I'm not giving this up. We're still going. We are doing this. We're going to be number 3. We're going to earn our B. I'm so proud of that. Y'all, you guys are in the perfect position, opportunity to earn your quota sharing. Also, the quota sharing will pay you in dividends forever and ever and ever. And so I was so proud and excited for that, almost more than being number 3 in sales this year. So with that, I want to share with you some tips as far as, how do we do this, right? And then some attitude management things. But before I do that, I want to share one story that when Maya asked me to be the speaker on this call, she mentioned a post that I had made. And I don't know if it was the specific one, but the one that came to my mind, I wanted to share with you guys. And it was a post of me, a picture of me going to a party. I was in my beauty coat and a ponytail, hardly any makeup on, okay, because I had just left the hospital where my son was staying. He was admitted, and I was wearing his hospital bracelet, my admittance bracelet, to get into his room. My parents were staying with him. He was fine. He was stable. He was totally taken care of. And I had booked a Mary Kay party 2 weeks beforehand, not knowing that we were going to be in the hospital. So I could have chosen to cancel the party, right? Reschedule the party. Would the hostess have understood? Yes, absolutely. Would it have been okay? Yes, absolutely. Could I have rescheduled? Could I have, blessed those people another time? Could I have made that income for my family another time? Yes, absolutely. Would everybody have made the choice to go to a party when their son's in the hospital? No. And that's okay. If that's not consistent with someone else's values, then that's fine. But for me, I want to be a woman of my word. And so that is the foundation of everything that I do. And I believe the biggest reason that I have had the success in our business that I have had is because if I say I'm going to do something, I will do it. I will do it, or I'll literally kill myself trying. And so for me, it was the choice. It was the right choice to go and do that party that night. Did it make me feel uplifted and happier, and just for a moment have a reprieve from the situation that I was facing? Yes. Was I able to focus on somebody else besides myself? Sometimes we just are too focused on ourselves. We got to tell ourselves it's not all about me, right? So it for me, it was the right choice, and it was a pivotal thing. I think that helps me. Everybody says, like, how do you be the queen? Well, do what you say you're going to do, right? So I have 8 tips for you, and we'll run through these really quickly. Check my time. Okay. Because I wanted to leave, if we could, some time at the end if you guys had any questions or anything. But I've got 8 quick tips for you on process. Meat and potatoes. How do you build a strong customer base? Obviously, you're all on this call, you're leaders, you have some kind of a customer base. So did I, but I needed to double it, literally double it. That's all I focused on when I did that year that I decided to be the queen. I needed about $100,000 in sales. And the year before, I did about 50,000. I had about 150 customers at that time, doing 50,000 in sales. And I decided I just needed to double it. I just needed 300 customers. So maybe that gives you a little bit of freedom and hope right there. I'm not here to tell you that you need 1,000 customers, because you don't. You need a few hundred really good customers, okay, to do, over $100,000. If you want to do $50,000, then great. You only need a couple hundred customers, right? And that's easy to build. That is so easy to build. So first of all, get a hostess plan and stick to it. Get something that you'd be excited about. Stop flitting around and find something that excites you. Doesn't matter what anybody else is doing, unless your director has told you, this is what we're running with, this is what I want you to do, and stick to it. If you keep going back and forth on your host plan every 5 parties, well, you're not going to get comfortable with it and excited about it, and neither are they. Number 2 is set a schedule and stick to it. So one of the best things that I did was, when I decided to be the queen, was that I got a solid schedule, and I pre-arranged childcare. And being a single mom, that's important. And so I had to have childcare, and I had to pay her. And so I had to make money. So if something canceled on me on a Tuesday night when I had childcare for 3 hours, I'm still paying that tick. So I have to do something. I have to make money, right? So pick a schedule. It doesn't matter. The schedule does not matter. Don't tell yourself the lie that people won't book on XYZ time and day. Okay. I hold parties on Monday nights, Saturday mornings, and Saturday afternoons. Who's going to come to a party on a Monday night? Well, everybody, because that's the only option that I give them, right? Okay. And if you're not doing in-person parties, please consider, the virtual world is fabulous, and it definitely has its place. But I'm not the queen of virtual parties. For most of the last 3 years, I have continued seeing people that were comfortable face to face. And I have a group of customers that I have built just virtually, across the country. And my relationship with them is not nearly as strong as those people that I have sat toe to toe, knee to knee, looked them in the eye, and have a personal relationship with them. So everything has its place. Virtual has its place, but we're back to doing in-person parties. So if you're not there yet, then jump on the bandwagon, because it's happening. Okay. People are ready. Next, number 3, be a woman of your word. Just like we just talked about. Follow up. If you say that you're going to contact somebody in 2 days to make sure that their skincare is working well, then by golly, you better contact them. And I don't care how you have to do that. For me, it is setting a reminder in my phone. My phone is constantly not going off because I silence everything, but there's constant like reminders for people I need to talk to. And that way, when I say I'm going to do something, I absolutely do it. I store when I'm with somebody, I go ahead and store their phone number in my phone and go ahead and send them a text immediately, so that wherever I'm at, if I'm sitting in the school pickup line and I need to follow up with Susie Q, I'm not looking for phone numbers and looking for papers and all that kind of stuff. It's all, everything is in my phone at all times. I also use the My Customers app heavily, so everything is in there. Number 4 is new product preview parties. This is one thing that I put into place that changed everything for me. So when we have new products, you have the opportunity to get together with your customers. You have a reason. The books went out, okay? I'm assuming all of you are on the call. All of you on this call are leaders, so you're doing the preferred customer program and you're following up with them. Doesn't do any good to just send someone a book and then never talk to them. You have to follow up with them every single time that the book comes out. Okay. I do that with the text. And then they also get a list of times from me that they can come over to my house in groups with people that they don't know. Okay. This is super duper fun, and try the new products, because everybody needs to see the new products. There are some things in your business that you just have to say, you know, like, this is my policy. My policy, one of my policies in my business is everybody sees the new products. You have to see them in person, because you cannot look in the book and think that you're going to be able to wear gel cheek color. But you come to me in person, I'm going to teach you how to use it. You're going to love it and never want to stop using it. Okay. So they come to my house, they get to pick their time. They can bring a friend if they want, or they can come by themselves. So they don't have to do anything. They don't have to be a hostess. They just get to show up, and it maximizes my time because I put people together in groups. So the most fun thing about this is that I've been doing this now for 4 years. So people have been in the same groups with each other in the past, and they're like, oh yeah, that's so-and-so. I've been here with you before. And they're actually like making friendships and connections with each other, which I love, because I'm a connector of people. And so it's been so beautiful. So when they come to my house at these preview parties, you wash your face. It's just a thing. Again, it's my policy. When you come to the Mary Kay house, you wash your face. That's our tagline. Everybody knows. You put on the headband, you get your group picture taken, and you get posted on Facebook. It's like a rite of passage for people who haven't done it before. Okay. They just know it's coming. And we wash our face, and then I romance whatever the new products are. And so you guys just make it fun. It doesn't have to be anything, you know, formal or like that anybody else is doing. You just decide how you're going to make things work, and you just show the new products, and then romance whatever it is that you are wanting them to do for you at that moment. So if you're wanting them to book in-person parties, then you are going to bribe them. And I tell them, I say, I'm going to bribe you today to book a party with me. So I'm going to lock the front door, and nobody gets to leave until they book a Mary Kay party. Okay. And everybody laughs, but I'm totally serious, and they totally know that. All right. So if you want them to book a virtual party with you, then you're going to romance the virtual party. If you need them to be a career chat for you and listen to the opportunity, that's what you're going to talk about. Whatever it is that you want to talk, that you want them to do for you, that's what you're going to focus on when you do these preview parties. Okay. Plus you're going to sell a ton of new regular line and limited edition products that you weren't already selling before. Okay. So try it this quarter. I promise you, you guys are going to love it. Okay. Number 5, share your goal, enroll your customers, whatever your goal is, whether that's to become a sales director and join us in Nashville, to be DIQ, join us in Nashville, whatever it is. Tell people about it. Tell everyone about your goal. Plaster it all in your Mary Kay group page, your customer group page. Talk about it at your parties, everywhere. Number 6, decide how you want to work your business. Okay. I I would rather work my business in my swimsuit at the pool while Braylon's swimming than in my beauty coat. Okay. And what I mean by that is that I would rather do a great party, right? And spend 3 hours doing an in-person party, or spend 1 hour doing a great virtual party, and then spend another hour in follow-up and customer service and contacting people, and all of that stuff I can do in my swimsuit by the pool, right? Or in my sweats in front of my fireplace when it's getting winter now. Okay, so you decide, how do you want to work your business? Do you want to go around and do all these in-person parties and then be a one-night stand and never see these people again, never talk to them? You might sell a ton, which is great, but I would rather form relationships with all of those people. But guess what? You get to decide. Okay, it's your business. You decide. Number 7, systems. I have to put systems in place. My systems are very, very simple. I still write paper sales tickets at appointments. My assistant does that for me when orders come in, when reorders come in. And on that note, get some office help. You guys are leaders now, and so you should be having office help at least at this level, at the Star Team Builder level, at least 1 to 2 hours a week, I would say, to help you. And here's the deal. It is not a time thing. It's an energy thing. So I have time because my life is very peaceful. I have time to do all the things that my assistant does, but do I want to spend my energy there? No, I would rather pay her to do the things that she can do and leave the in-person people time for me. That way I'm not all burnt up and spent out on things that don't give me joy or bring me energy. Okay, I'd rather be here with you guys tonight, giving you my energy, because today my assistant was here for 2 hours and took care of all of that stuff that I didn't want to do. Okay. All right. And finally, number 8, get to work. Just get to work. Make a decision. I feel like one of the great sins of our Mary Kay world is that we are overtrained and underworked. And we have the best training in the world. And I love that. And I'm so grateful. And I kept looking when I was early in my business, I kept looking for the secret, right? How am I going to be successful without doing those darn parties? Right? And I don't know, maybe I'm the only one that felt that way, but we have to go to work. So there's a whole lot of other things that we could be doing. Like I said, I don't love to book, right? I don't love to get on the phone and book. Well, what's the remedy to that? Well, book a few parties and then book from those parties so that I never am looking at a blank date book. Okay. So figure out what you don't want to do and then figure out how to correct it. Yes. Okay. Something else that I would recommend is stop looking around. That's one of the best things that I did when I decided to be the queen, is I really put my blinders on and stopped. I removed myself from a lot of the ideas groups that were out there. You stay plugged in to your sales director or your senior or your national, or if you're Mary Kay national area, that's the company. You stay plugged into your direct up line and then forget everything else that's going on around you. And you decide what would be fun. You decide how to do an in-person party the way you want to do it, or you decide how to do a virtual party the way you want to do it. When I started doing things that I thought would be fun for me and my customers, then that's when the magic started happening. And I didn't care what anybody else was doing. Okay, so I give you permission, and you are literally one decision away from whatever you want in Mary Kay. I heard Julia Burnett give a speech at seminar, and she said, make one decision and then daily manage that decision to make it the right one, right? Rather than making a whole bunch of decisions every single day, just commit and decide, make that one decision and then manage it daily. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about, just in our time that we have left, which is not very long. I'm going to run through these really fast. Tools for attitude management, because I think it's key. Learn to fight before the battle happens. I know that, probably some of you listening to this call are already in a battle. That's okay. Learn to fight now. If you're not in a battle already, it's going to be coming. So learn to fight before the battle comes. Number one, memorize scripture. Speak it out loud. Post it all over your house. I have scripture all over my house. It doesn't have to be chapter and verse. It doesn't even have to be the exact right words. Just know what that verse says. That way you can speak it out when the enemy attacks you. Number two, daily morning routine. For me, it's quiet time with Jesus and exercise. Before I people, I do those things. I don't people until about noon. Okay. I need to exercise and have Jesus time. Number three, be mindful of your intake. So what are you reading? What are you listening to? What are you watching on TV? Are you scrolling social media? I give you permission to turn all that stuff off. I don't do it. I don't use it. It's been the best decision that I've ever made. I will post something on social media and then I will get off. I stopped scrolling a couple of years ago. I will get off and then I will get back on the next day and check the comments. And so if I need to respond to someone, that's how I work. That's how I work that. Comparison is the thief of joy. So don't let it steal your joy. That's my word for this year is joy. Keep your joy. Hold it tightly. Number four, choose wisely your friends. We become like the 5 people that we hang around. This Red Hot call is looking like a good place to find your friends. Okay. Hang out with these people. These are my friends. So yay. Number 5, do affirmations. This is something I resisted for so long. Affirmations really work. They train your brain. I have started doing this with my son. We started when he was in preschool. We do this every single morning. And now I can wake him up. He's asleep right now. I can wake him up out of a dead sleep and he can tell you his affirmations. And there's 10 of them. There's a whole list. So I can do hard things. I'm a leader. I'm confident and courageous. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. So teach your children, train your brain. It'll work. I promise you. Number 6 is do a gratitude journal. Make a goal, write down 3 things every day or 5 things every day. I get in a poopy mood too, right? I have bad, yucky days and moments and sometimes months. We all get in a funk. Praise God, the Lord healed me from clinical depression during that when my son was first diagnosed. Just 2 weeks after that, the Lord just took that chemical imbalance from me, and I praise him. So if you suffer from things like that, I know what it's like. I know what it's like to feel like you have an elephant on your chest and you can't get out of bed. So I've been there. I've done it. There's freedom. And this is one thing that I do when I get into a funk, and that is a gratitude journal, either in the morning, in the evening. Do it. It will change everything for you. Number 7, figure out how to be a victor, not a victim. Give yourself grace and move on. A pity party is the most expensive party you will ever throw for yourself. So give yourself a moment. It's okay. We all fall apart. It's all right. Just don't stay there. Give yourself 5 minutes to fuss about a party that just canceled. Right? And then move on. Reschedule her or go book somebody else or go run a couple laps around your neighborhood, whatever it takes. Number 8, decide to be a lifer in Mary Kay. Everything pays you if you stay in Mary Kay long enough. So if you go and do that party that wasn't much sales and wasn't you didn't get very many bookings. Well, I promise you, hang out long enough and somebody from that party is going to contact you in 10 years and say, hey, I remember that you did this and can I be your customer now? Okay. Just sometimes we give up too quickly. So just hang in there, decide to be a lifer. It's going to be great. Number 9, get comfy with rejection. You have to get a lot of no's sometimes in order to get a lot of yeses. This used to wig me out. Man, I do not like rejection. Shoo! But I promise you, I probably get told no more on a weekly, monthly basis than some of you listening to this call have gotten told in the whole past year. Okay. And so it's okay. It won't kill you. You got to get the no's to get to the yeses, and play a game with it. Also, I give people an opportunity to say no to me. I would rather them say no to me than just not respond. So I say it's one of those push-pull things. Here's what I'm offering you. I'm offering you a makeover, and if you're not interested, that's totally okay. But if you'll let me know that you're interested or you're not interested, I sure would appreciate it. And so when they tell me that they're not interested, I'm like, okay, nose, get off my nose. That's totally fine. Thank you. I don't want the awkward moment at church or Walmart or the school pickup line, Give people an opportunity to say no and get comfy with it. And number 10, capture every thought. This is a command in the Bible. This is not a suggestion that we capture every thought. This is a command. So we can't control always what comes into our brain, but we can control what we do with it from there. So do we sit with it? Do we make friends with it? Do we have a party with it? Or do we say, thank you, sir, we're not going to go there right now, and we push it to the side? Okay. Take control of every thought. Focus. We get to choose what we focus on, right? So focus, decide, and work. Y'all got this. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak into your lives this evening. I pray it blessed you.
Okay, where'd my pom-pom go? I've been writing like crazy. Oh my goodness. Y'all want to unmute and clap or cheer or hop in the chat and just already, oh my goodness. I have chills up my spine, and I'm pretty sure all the hairs are also up, because from the beginning, your power statement, if I want to move in what God has for me. And I am so thankful, Jessica, that you have been so obedient. It is so unbelievably evident in every decision in your Mary Kay career, whether you liked it or not. You were obedient. And I believe that is why God has blessed you, because you were obedient against Mary Kay culture. You were obedient against your own desires and your own flesh. And here you are today. Like I said, I literally have goosebumps of just an example of what being obedient through all seasons, every moment, the highs, the victories, the valleys, have led you to create, inspire, and you are changing the word. I mean, like, seriously. Wow. So Mary Kay family, I want to open it up to anyone who just wants to publicly verbalize. We learned about love languages, and we found out that I think I'm the only one with words of affirmation, but I am stretching everyone to be a words of affirmation girl. And I know they love it because they love you. But it was really comical. We picked that up. Anyway, so if anyone wants to give her some love with their words, go ahead, unmute, and let's just love on Jess before we close out tonight.
Well, I think we all can give words of affirmation. I know sometimes that's not how we receive it, but I saw Jessica's hand go up, so we are ready for that assignment. So
yay!
Jessica, it truly has been an honor to listen to you share tonight. I know that, like Jennifer Draper had shared, like, she loves hearing from new people and their new stories, but I think this is honestly, it is so special for those of us that have got to watch you. Like, I still remember being in the bathroom with you at fall retreat when you had Braylon, and he was like a brand new little baby, and just watching you through this whole journey. And I think one of the things that I loved that you said, just because of of things in my life as well is when you said, I'm okay with not going back to normal. I'm okay with moving on. And I just think that that is so powerful because I think we all are going to have life things happen and things are going to be different, even just with the pandemic, like I know we all got tired of the phrase like new normal, and all that kind of stuff, but it truly is like we all do have to be okay with not going back to normal because everything has changed. And so to be able to do that and to focus and to move on, I just think that that statement was powerful. And just your simple like things that you shared, like I know, like, as I wrote them down, I'm like, okay, I know I've heard this before. And it did give me much pleasure to know that there were some things, even when you said, like, and I resisted this for a little bit, because I know there are some things that I'm probably in that same situation. And so, even just that was affirmation to me as far as, like, okay, maybe we need to not be a little bit stubborn in that area. But I also loved that you said that your word of the year was joy. Because truly, like when I think of Jessica Merriman, like even just your laugh as you like would share something and giggle, like that is just infectious and probably the most joyful laugh in the whole entire world. And so just again, thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule to share with us, giving us all of, the nuts and bolts as far as, things to do, things to get set up, and then the tips for our attitude and our mental capacity with that. I mean, everything was amazing. So thank you so much for sharing with us tonight.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you, my friend.
Hi, Jessica. It's Sherry over here. I wanted to say I appreciate you so much. I just love this. The one thing that really stands out to me is when you're talking about not giving up, because you go to a party and you have like $10 in sales, that kind of thing. Because I think we're often we want that immediate gratification. Like I did a good job. Now you be good to me. And it doesn't always work that way because sometimes we're not there for that reason. Sometimes we're there to just bless those people. And, and I've tried to keep that in my mind since I started. And I will tell you, I had a party. I don't know how long ago it's been, a while since right when I first started. And I had this party and drove quite a ways to have it. And I think I had $40 in sales. And so, basically it paid for my gas to go there. And that was, and that was it. But if you just are kind to people and you show them love and that you're not there just to take their money, they come back to you. I actually, in a couple of weeks, I'm going back there to have another party. And, that kind of thing, because it really does happen. And just like in your Facebook group, you invite all these people to your Facebook group and they might just sit dormant for months and months and months. And then all of a sudden you post something and they send you a message and you're like, I didn't even know you were here, because you haven't heard from them. And so that is so true. But I think, we think we're supposed to get that right now, and that's not the way it works. And so I appreciate that because that's so, so true. Because we could give up really easily, because it hurts your feelings sometimes.
Yes.
So, but thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for sharing.
And I hope, Jessica, that you can see the comments too, because I know a couple people have wrote in the comments as well.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say with the comments. I know Lisa said she loves Jessica so much. She said you spoke in person at her very first in-person event. I believe that was probably at Fall Retreat.
Oh, that's awesome.
So good. She's a Red Jacket in my area. Jessica, oh my gosh. I think I met you about 10 or 11 years ago, and I was a newer beauty, brand new. Well, I would say probably just a few months old in the company, and you taught my first pink boot camp. You guys, Pink Boot Camp has been around forever. It's the best training. And Jessica taught so well. And I remember just being so like, oh my gosh, you're just amazing, you know, and your systems, you were teaching on systems that day, and I could track with you and just thinking like, oh, I wonder if I could be a sales director. I wonder if I, because you just earned a car then, and I was like, I wonder if I could earn a car. And so gosh, I go back to that's my first memory. But I will tell you guys, what you see with her is legit. You know, her testimony and her story, because I knew her before she had Braylon, and just watching your Mary Kay journey, you have been successful for me every step of the way because of your heart, and you have always served the Lord in those seasons. And I believe that God lifted you up and he's blessed you immensely because you did the thing that he's called you to do. And it could have been, like you said, unpopular in Mary Kay culture, but you stayed true to his word and you worked with intention and to serve the Lord and to serve your family. By heaven's sake, serve your family. And I thank you for that. I thank you for that sacrifice because I know that was not an easy thing to do. But I praise God because I know you're stronger for it and you're blessing so many people now that you, I mean, we look back and like, oh my gosh, this platform that you have to bless so many people because of your story. And I can resonate with a lot of things in your story. So it's very, very powerful and impactful. And thank you. Thank you for being so honest and sharing and owning it and just, and encouraging us to do the same. So I just love you. I love you, girl. And
I
oh my
love
gosh, if you
you.
guys haven't caught that, she's done the National Court of Sales 3 times in 1 year. I'm like counting up. I'm like, okay, 120. That's 3 National Court of Sales in 1 year. So I'm so excited for you because that is definitely a goal of mine to finish that for my first time. So when I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, she's done it 3 times. What's, you know, it's just exciting because your
Awesome.
story can encourage others. And I just love it. I love it. So.
Thank
So
you.
good.
I love you, my friend.
I
Thank
love
you
you
for
too.
sharing. And you got this.
Yes,
Totally.
we got this.
It's in the bag.
It's in the bag. I love it.
Hey, I'll go next. Hey, Jessica. I don't know if you
Hi.
remember me or not, but I first met you at Fall Retreat last year, briefly.
Awesome.
Briefly. So that was my first time meeting you. And oh my goodness, joy for sure is the word that I would use to describe you. And you were in DIQ, getting ready to debut as a director. I mean, just a few weeks later. But I love, first off, just thank you. Thank you for taking time to pour into us, to encourage us. I have pages and pages of notes. But what I loved was kind of towards, I guess it was when you were sharing your story and you mentioned that Mary Kay is the most beautiful and like the safest place to be, regardless of what you're going through. And I think you're talking about going, like doing the National Court of Sharing at that time and going through the Light Your Life story and all that. And I think that truly encompasses why I'm so passionate about passing this on, about sharing this with other people, because women need what we have. And it's just a joy when women join our Mary Kay family and they get to start experiencing the pink bubble and the culture and the encouragement and positivity and all of that. So I just love that. I wrote that down and I'm probably going to put it on my goalpost for this year. Just like it's going to go up there. So thank you for your time tonight.
Awesome. You're welcome. It's so nice to see you again.
Well, Jessica, I pray that you feel the love because I know their words were absolutely perfect. Their words were great. And so thank you so much for blessing us, inspiring us as you have for many, many years. And I think this was such a cool, like full circle moment, right? Of saying that all of us have watched us and truly too, like how for those of us who haven't been in Mary Kay for very long, you get to see how your Mary Kay sisters really do get to grow together. Like we really do life together, you know, because yes, I was 8 months old at that Red Jacket retreat and I had my pixie haircut and got my first tiara at that retreat. And you know, it's such a beautiful, vivid memory. And so to say, oh my gosh, I was there when Braylon was in the bathroom. I was there when you earned your first car. Like it's so cool to see how our journeys really do intertwine and how when one of us are obedient and faithful, it really does make an impact for the rest of us. And so Jessica, from all of us, of course, thank you so much. I know that this night will be referenced many times. I have no doubt. And I know that some of our Red Jackets were not able to make it on live. And so they'll get the recording and I know they'll be so incredibly blessed. So, and does anyone else have any final words? I don't want to cut anybody off. So. Okay. Well, my friend, may God bless you, our
Thank
Mary Kay
you.
family. May God bless you. May his face shine upon you. May joy fill your home and your hearts. Congrats to those finishing Star Consultant tonight and wrapping up our first quarter, you guys. So there we go. And we get to see Jessica at Fall Retreat. So, all right. Good night. Love you guys. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye, guys. Thank you, Jessica.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jess.